Welcome to Mild History. We're excited to have you here today as we explore the captivating story of Hatshepsut, the sultry queen who defied convention and became one of ancient Egypt's most powerful kings. Before we dive into her remarkable journey, we'd love to know where you're watching from, so drop a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing tales from history. Now, let's get started. A royal birth. Hatshepsut was born around 1507 BCE during a significant period in ancient Egyptian history. She was the daughter of Pharaoh Thutmose I and Queen Amhos. Thutmose I was known for his military campaigns that expanded Egypt's territory and solidified its power. Queen Amhos played a crucial role in the royal lineage, and together they established a legacy that would shape Hatshepsut's future. As a child of the royal family, Hatshepsut was raised in the lavish surroundings of the Egyptian court. The palace was a center of political power, cultural richness, and religious significance. From an early age, she was exposed to the complexities of governance and the responsibilities that came with her status. Hatshepsut's education was thorough and tailored to prepare her for potential leadership. She learned about the intricacies of administration, the principles of justice, and the importance of maintaining order within the kingdom. This education was essential as it equipped her with the skills necessary for understanding the political landscape of ancient Egypt. In addition to political education, Hatshepsut was taught about the religious beliefs that permeated Egyptian society. The Egyptians had a pantheon of gods and goddesses, and the pharaoh was viewed as a divine figure. This understanding of religion would later influence her reign as she sought to legitimize her rule. The Nile River was central to life in Egypt, providing water for agriculture and facilitating trade. Hatshepsut would have learned about the importance of the Nile in sustaining the economy and ensuring the prosperity of the kingdom. The river was not only a lifeline, but also a symbol of fertility and renewal, integral to the Egyptian worldview. As she grew older, Hatshepsut would have witnessed her father's military campaigns. Thutmose I was known for expanding Egypt's borders through conquests, and Hatshepsut likely observed the strategies and decisions that shaped these military efforts. Such experiences would have instilled in her a sense of duty and ambition, preparing her for the challenges that lay ahead. Hatshepsut's early life was also marked by the expectations placed upon her as a royal daughter. In ancient Egypt, it was common for royal families to marry within their own lineage to preserve the purity of the bloodline. At around the age of 12, Hatshepsut married her half-brother, Thutmose II. This marriage was strategically significant, as it reinforced political alliances within the royal family. Thutmose II ruled for a relatively short time, and his reign was characterized by ongoing military campaigns. When he passed away, the throne passed to their young son, Thutmose III, who was still a child. Hatshepsut's life took a dramatic turn at this point. Rather than retreating into the background, she assumed the role of regent for her stepson. This position allowed her to exert considerable influence over the kingdom. As regent, she faced the challenge of navigating a male-dominated political landscape. Many in the royal court viewed a woman's rule with skepticism, and traditionalists questioned her legitimacy. To counter this opposition, she surrounded herself with loyal advisors and military leaders who recognized her capabilities. Her political acumen became evident as she managed to maintain power and foster loyalty among key figures in the court. Hatshepsut's regency marked a critical period in her life. She had to balance her role as a mother figure to the young Thutmose III while asserting her authority as a ruler. This delicate situation required skillful diplomacy and strategic maneuvering.
Her ability to navigate these complexities would become a defining feature of her reign. In addition to her political challenges, Hatshepsut was keenly aware of the cultural and religious expectations of her society. She understood that the pharaoh was not only a political leader, but also a divine figure. This understanding of religion would later influence her reign as she sought to legitimize her rule. The royal court was a vibrant environment filled with cultural richness. Hatshepsut was exposed to the arts, literature, and religious practices that defined Egyptian society. This cultural education would later influence her policies as she sought to promote artistic and architectural achievements during her reign. Hatshepsut's early experiences shaped her character and aspirations. She was not content to be a passive figure in the background. Rather, she was determined to carve out her own place in history. Her ambition was fueled by a desire to prove herself as a capable leader, one who could govern effectively and bring prosperity to her people. As she transitioned from regent to pharaoh, she began to forge a path that would redefine the role of women in ancient Egypt. Her early life was a blend of privilege, education, and preparation for leadership. The skills she acquired and the experiences she gained laid the foundation for her future actions as a ruler. Her influence of her father, Thutmose I, was significant in shaping her worldview. He was a strong and ambitious king, and Hatshepsut likely admired his leadership style. His military campaigns and expansionist policies would have provided her with a model of effective governance that she could draw upon. In her heart, Hatshepsut understood that she was destined for greatness. Armed with her education, political savvy, and a deep sense of duty, she was ready to take on the challenges that lay ahead. As she navigated the complexities of the royal court and the expectations placed upon her, Hatshepsut was poised to become a transformative figure in ancient Egypt. Her journey from a royal daughter to a powerful ruler would challenge conventional norms and redefine the possibilities for women in leadership roles. In summary, Hatshepsut's birth into the royal family and her subsequent upbringing provided her with the tools necessary for leadership. Her education, exposure to political dynamics, and understanding of cultural and religious practices laid the groundwork for her future reign. As she transitioned from regent to pharaoh, she began to challenge the status quo and assert her authority in a society that had never seen a woman rule as king.
Marriage and political alliances. Hatshepsut's marriage to Thutmose II was a pivotal moment in her life, serving as both a personal and political maneuver within the complex landscape of ancient Egyptian royalty. Born around 1507 BCE, Hatshepsut was the daughter of Pharaoh Thutmose I and Queen Ahmose. This lineage placed her in a position of privilege and expectation, particularly as her family adhered to the practice of marrying within the royal bloodline to maintain power and purity. At approximately 12 years old, Hatshepsut married her half-brother Thutmose II. This union was not merely a romantic alliance, it was a strategic partnership designed to solidify the royal family's power and ensure the continuity of the dynasty. Thutmose II, the son of Thutmose I and a secondary wife, ascended to the throne after his father's death. Hatshepsut became his great wife, a title that conferred upon her a degree of influence and authority within the royal court. During Thutmose II's reign, which lasted only about 13 years, Hatshepsut played an active role in court life.
She bore him a daughter, Nephru, but the couple did not have a son together. This lack of a male heir would become significant as Thutmose II had another wife, Iset, who bore him a son, Thutmose III. The existence of Thutmose III introduced a layer of complexity to the royal family dynamics, laying the groundwork for future power struggles. Thutmose II's reign was marked by military campaigns aimed at expanding Egypt's territory, especially in Nubia and Syria. Hatshepsut likely observed these military operations firsthand, gaining insights into the complexities of leadership, governance, and military strategy. The knowledge she acquired during this time would later inform her own policies when she assumed power. After Thutmose II's unexpected death, the throne passed to the young Thutmose III, who was still a child. Hatshepsut's immediate transition from royal wife to regent was unprecedented. Instead of stepping aside, she took on the role of regent, effectively ruling on behalf of her stepson. This decision was not without precedent, as royal women sometimes held substantial power, but it was rare for a woman to claim authority in such a direct manner. Taking on the role of regent, Hatshepsut faced numerous challenges. The royal court was a complex environment filled with intrigue, and many nobles questioned the legitimacy of a female ruler. Traditionalists believed that a woman should not sit on the throne, and Hatshepsut had to navigate these societal norms while asserting her authority. Her ability to manage court politics would become crucial in maintaining her power and influence. To strengthen her position, Hatshepsut surrounded herself with loyal advisors and military leaders who recognized her capabilities. This strategic move was essential in securing her power and ensuring that she had the necessary support to govern effectively. Her leadership style was marked by political acumen, emphasizing collaboration and consensus building, which helped her navigate the complexities of her regency. Hatshepsut's relationship with Thutmose III remained complicated. As a young boy, he was raised in the royal court alongside his half-sister Nephru. Hatshepsut took on a maternal role, guiding him as he prepared to inherit the throne. However, as Thutmose III matured, tensions began to arise. Many nobles supported his claim to the throne, believing that he should assume power as the rightful heir. Hatshepsut understood the need to prepare Thutmose III for leadership, and she sought to groom him for his future role as pharaoh. Her efforts included involving Thutmose III in state matters and military campaigns, allowing him to gain experience and credibility. Her aim was to ensure a smooth transition of power when the time came for him to take the throne. Despite her attempts at collaboration, Hatshepsut's determination to maintain her authority led to friction between her and Thutmose III. As she consolidated power, she began to adopt the titles and regalia traditionally reserved for male pharaohs. This unprecedented move further fueled the debate about her legitimacy as a ruler. The political landscape of ancient Egypt was shaped by a complex web of alliances and rivalries. Hatshepsut understood the importance of securing her position through strategic marriages and alliances. Her own marriage to Thutmose II was a testament to this practice, reinforcing the connection between royal families. As pharaoh, Hatshepsut sought to strengthen Egypt's position both domestically and internationally. She promoted trade expeditions, notably the famous journey to the land of Punt, which brought back valuable resources and established Egypt's economic power. This expedition showcased her ability to lead and govern, further solidifying her status as a capable ruler. Hatshepsut's reign also saw a flourishing of art, architecture, and culture. She commissioned monumental building projects, including her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, which became a symbol of her power and devotion to the gods. These projects not only served practical purposes, but also reinforced her image as a divine ruler. The temple, renowned for its architectural beauty, featured elaborate carvings and inscriptions that celebrated her achievements. The relationship between Hatshepsut and Thutmose III remained complicated throughout her reign. While she sought to prepare him for leadership, he was also eager to assert his authority. After Hatshepsut's death, Thutmose III took measures to erase her from history, defacing her monuments and attempting to diminish her legacy. This power struggle highlights the complexities of their relationship and the challenges of governance in a patriarchal society. Hatshepsut's marriage and subsequent rise to power illustrate the intricate dynamics of ancient Egyptian politics. Her ability to navigate these challenges and assert her authority as a female ruler was remarkable. She broke through societal barriers and redefined the expectations of women in leadership roles, leaving a lasting legacy that would be remembered for centuries.
A bold claim to power. Hatshepsut's transition from a royal consort and regent to pharaoh of Egypt marked a significant turning point, not only in her life, but also in the history of ancient Egypt. Following the death of her husband Thutmose II and the subsequent ascension of her young stepson Thutmose III, Hatshepsut faced a critical juncture. Rather than merely acting as a regent, she made the unprecedented decision to declare herself pharaoh, a title traditionally reserved for men. This bold claim was rooted in both personal ambition and a desire to stabilize the kingdom during a tumultuous period. The political environment of ancient Egypt was complex and often fraught with challenges, especially for a woman seeking to assert authority. Hatshepsut recognized that the legitimacy of her rule would depend on her ability to navigate these intricacies. By declaring herself pharaoh, she not only aimed to consolidate power, but also to redefine the role of women in leadership. Her actions challenged long-standing gender norms and set a precedent that would resonate through history. To assert her authority, Hatshepsut adopted the regalia and titles typically associated with male pharaohs. She dressed in traditional male attire, complete with the false beard that symbolized pharaonic power. This transformation was not merely cosmetic, it was a strategic move designed to reinforce her legitimacy in the eyes of her subjects and the nobility. By presenting herself as a male ruler, she sought to eliminate doubts about her ability to govern effectively. Hatshepsut's decision to claim the title of pharaoh was also accompanied by a series of carefully crafted public narratives. She commissioned numerous inscriptions and reliefs that depicted her as a divine figure, chosen by the gods to lead Egypt. One of the most significant aspects of her self-presentation was the emphasis on her purported divine birth. According to these narratives, Hatshepsut claimed that the god Amun had impregnated her mother, Queen Ahmose, granting her a unique status as a ruler. This divine lineage was essential for legitimizing her rule, as it positioned her not just as a monarch on earth, but as a deity on earth. Her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari became a focal point for this self-promotion. The temple featured elaborate reliefs that depicted her divine birth, her achievements, and her interactions with the gods. These representations were designed to reinforce her authority and establish her as a legitimate ruler in a male-dominated society. The temple itself, with its stunning architecture and intricate carvings, served as both a religious site and a monument to her reign. Hatshepsut's reign was marked by a focus on economic stability and growth. She recognized that a strong economy was vital for maintaining her power and legitimacy. One of her first acts as pharaoh was to promote extensive trade expeditions, most famously to the land of Punt. This journey was not only a quest for wealth, it was also a demonstration of her capability as a ruler. The resources brought back from Punt, including gold, ivory, and exotic goods, significantly enriched Egypt and reinforced Hatshepsut's image as a successful leader. The expedition to Punt was meticulously planned and executed, showcasing Hatshepsut's organizational skills. She commissioned ships and assembled a crew, demonstrating her ability to mobilize resources effectively. The successful return from Punt was celebrated throughout Egypt, and the wealth acquired during the expedition helped to solidify her position. The inscriptions detailing this journey serve to highlight her achievements and reinforce her claim to power. While Hatshepsut focused on asserting her authority as pharaoh, she also had to manage the political dynamics within the royal court. Thutmose III, her stepson, would eventually become a significant figure in Egyptian history, but at the time he was still a young boy. Hatshepsut's decision to rule as pharaoh created tensions between them. She sought to prepare him for future leadership while simultaneously asserting her dominance. This delicate balance required skillful diplomacy and strategic decision-making. The royal court was filled with advisors and nobles who had their own interests and ambitions. Hatshepsut had to ensure that she maintained the loyalty of key figures while also preparing for any challenges to her authority. Her ability to navigate these complex relationships was critical in maintaining her power. By surrounding herself with loyal supporters and advisors, she created a stable environment that allowed her to govern effectively. Despite her efforts to consolidate power, Hatshepsut faced opposition from traditionalists who believed that a woman should not rule. These factions questioned her legitimacy and sought to undermine her authority. In response, Hatshepsut used her political acumen to counter these challenges. She emphasized her accomplishments and reinforced her image as a capable ruler through public works and military successes. Her reign saw the construction of impressive monuments and temples dedicated to the gods, further solidifying her position as a divine ruler. Hatshepsut understood the importance of religion in legitimizing her rule. By aligning herself with the gods and presenting her actions as divinely sanctioned, she sought to quell dissent and consolidate her authority. The inscriptions and monuments created during her reign played a crucial role in shaping her legacy. They served not only as records of her achievements, but also as tools for propaganda. By promoting her image as a powerful and capable leader, Hatshepsut aimed to ensure that her reign would be remembered positively. The boldness of Hatshepsut's actions cannot be overstated. By declaring herself pharaoh, she not only claimed a title typically reserved for men, but also challenged the very foundations of Egyptian society. Her reign marked a significant departure from traditional gender roles, and her legacy would inspire future generations to recognize the potential of women in leadership. As Hatshepsut navigated the complexities of her reign, she demonstrated remarkable resilience and determination. Her ability to assert her authority while managing political dynamics showcased her skills as a ruler. Hatshepsut's story is one of ambition, defiance, and a relentless pursuit of power in a world that sought to limit her. In conclusion, Hatshepsut's bold claim to power as pharaoh was a defining moment in her life and in the history of ancient Egypt. Her strategic decisions, including her adoption of male regalia and her emphasis on divine legitimacy, transformed her into a powerful ruler. Through trade expeditions and monumental constructions, she solidified her authority and left a lasting impact on Egypt's cultural and political landscape.
Hatshepsut's reign as pharaoh was marked by a complex tapestry of achievements and challenges. While she successfully asserted her authority and established her legitimacy, she also faced significant obstacles in a male-dominated society that was often resistant to female leadership. These challenges were not merely political. They extended into the realms of social dynamics, military affairs, and the ever-present expectations of the Egyptian people. One of the most pressing issues Hatshepsut encountered was the skepticism surrounding her legitimacy as a female ruler. Many traditionalists within the royal court questioned whether a woman could effectively govern a kingdom, particularly one as prosperous and powerful as Egypt. The patriarchal structures of ancient Egyptian society dictated that leadership should be male-dominated, and Hatshepsut's ascent to power was an affront to these long-standing norms. To counter this skepticism, Hatshepsut employed a range of strategies. She sought to cultivate an image of strength and capability, often portraying herself in the same regalia as her male predecessors. This included wearing the traditional kilt and crown, as well as the symbolic false beard, which was a marker of pharaonic authority. Such visual representations were intended to challenge the perception of her gender and reinforce her position as a legitimate ruler. In addition to her visual rhetoric, Hatshepsut also utilized religious legitimacy to strengthen her claim to the throne. By emphasizing her divine birth narrative, in which the god Amun was said to have impregnated her mother, she sought to establish herself as a ruler chosen by the gods. This narrative was woven into the fabric of her public image, appearing in inscriptions and reliefs throughout her temples. These depictions not only served to legitimize her rule, but also aimed to align her government with divine will, fostering a sense of stability among her subjects.
Despite her efforts to solidify her authority, Hatshepsut faced opposition from factions within the court who were loyal to Thutmose III, her stepson and the rightful heir. As he matured, the question of succession became increasingly pressing. Many nobles believed that Thutmose III should assume leadership, and they viewed Hatshepsut's prolonged rule as a usurpation of his rightful place. This tension created a precarious political landscape, requiring Hatshepsut to be both diplomatic and strategic in her dealings with the royal court. Hatshepsut understood that maintaining the loyalty of key advisors and military leaders was critical to her reign. She strategically appointed individuals who were supportive of her rule, ensuring that her administration was comprised of trusted allies. This careful selection of advisors allowed her to navigate the complexities of court politics, while also addressing the concerns of those who questioned her authority. In the face of opposition, Hatshepsut also sought to demonstrate her capability as a ruler through military successes. While she was not a warrior in the traditional sense, she recognized the importance of military strength in maintaining power. Hatshepsut commissioned military campaigns to secure Egypt's borders and to assert her authority. These campaigns were often portrayed in her inscriptions as acts of valor, thereby enhancing her reputation as a capable leader. One notable military campaign during her reign was against Nubia. Hatshepsut sought to secure the southern borders of Egypt, aiming to protect its resources and trade routes. The campaign was successful, leading to the acquisition of valuable resources, including gold and slaves, which bolstered Egypt's economy. The wealth gained from these campaigns also served to legitimize her rule, as it demonstrated her ability to protect and enrich the kingdom. Despite her military successes, Hatshepsut's reign was not devoid of challenges. The shifting political landscape and the ambitions of Thutmose III continued to loom large. As he grew older, Thutmose III became increasingly assertive, and the tension between them escalated. This dynamic was complicated by the fact that Hatshepsut had effectively raised him and had sought to prepare him for leadership. However, the emergence of his own ambitions created a rift between them. The royal court was rife with intrigue, and rival factions began to coalesce around Thutmose III. Many nobles who had once supported Hatshepsut began to shift their allegiances, seeing the potential for power that Thutmose III represented. This shift in loyalty posed a significant threat to Hatshepsut's reign, forcing her to respond with strategic maneuvering and calculated decisions. In addition to the political challenges, Hatshepsut also faced societal pressures. The Egyptian populace had certain expectations of their rulers, particularly regarding the continuation of the royal lineage. Hatshepsut had only one surviving child, her daughter Neferue, which raised concerns about the future of the dynasty. While she had taken on the title of Pharaoh, the lack of a male heir created uncertainty regarding the succession. To address these concerns, Hatshepsut sought to solidify her legacy through monumental building projects and public works. She commissioned the construction of her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, which became a symbol of her reign. This temple was not only an architectural marvel, but also a site of worship and a testament to her devotion to the gods. The inscriptions and reliefs within the temple celebrated her achievements and reinforced her image as a capable ruler. The construction of monumental architecture served multiple purposes. It aimed to enhance Hatshepsut's reputation, provide employment for the populace, and secure her place in history. By leaving behind a legacy of impressive structures, she sought to ensure that her contributions would be remembered long after her reign had ended. Hatshepsut's ability to navigate these challenges was a testament to her resilience and determination. She faced opposition from traditionalists, dealt with the complexities of court politics, and addressed societal pressures, all while striving to maintain her authority as pharaoh. As her reign progressed, Hatshepsut continued to face challenges, but she remained steadfast in her commitment to government. Her ability to adapt to changing circumstances and to assert her authority in the face of adversity marked her as one of Egypt's most remarkable rulers. While her reign was not without strife, she demonstrated that leadership could take many forms and that a woman could successfully navigate the complexities of power. Hatshepsut's reign ultimately shaped the course of Egyptian history, challenging the norms of her time and redefining the role of women in leadership. Her boldness and determination in the face of adversity became hallmarks of her legacy, influencing future generations and leaving an indelible mark on the annals of history.
Architectural marvels. Hatshepsut's reign is often remembered not only for her bold claim to power, but also for the monumental architectural projects that she commissioned throughout Egypt. These constructions were not merely displays of wealth and power. They were integral to her legacy, serving both religious and political purposes. The most notable of these projects is her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, which stands as a testament to her vision and ambition. The temple of Deir el-Bahari is situated on the west bank of the Nile near Luxor, and it was designed to be a grandiose reflection of Hatshepsut's power and devotion to the gods. The site was chosen for its proximity to the Valley of the Kings, where many pharaohs were buried. Hatshepsut's temple was unique in its architecture, with a design that incorporated 3 terraced levels connected by long ramps. This layout was revolutionary for its time, allowing for a harmonious integration with the surrounding landscape. Construction of the temple began shortly after she declared herself pharaoh. The design was largely influenced by earlier mortuary temples, but Hatshepsut's vision transformed the conventional structure into something unprecedented. The temple was dedicated to the goddess Hathor and to the god Amun, emphasizing Hatshepsut's connection to the divine. This dedication was crucial for legitimizing her rule, as it aligned her reign with religious authority. The temple's walls were adorned with intricate reliefs that depicted various scenes from Hatshepsut's life and reign. One of the most significant narratives portrayed in the temple is her divine birth story, which emphasizes her status as a chosen ruler. In these reliefs, Hatshepsut is shown receiving symbols of power from the gods, reinforcing her image as a divine monarch.
This portrayal was not merely for aesthetic purposes. It served to communicate her legitimacy and to solidify her place in the pantheon of Egyptian rulers. In addition to the divine birth narrative, the temple's walls also depicted Hatshepsut's successful expedition to the land of Punt, a journey that brought back valuable resources and established Egypt's trade networks. The reliefs showed the wealth of Punt, including exotic animals, precious materials, and goods that enriched the Egyptian economy. This portrayal was significant for several reasons. It not only showcased Hatshepsut's capabilities as a ruler, but also highlighted her role in expanding Egypt's influence and wealth. The construction of monumental architecture during Hatshepsut's reign was also a response to the political challenges she faced. By commissioning grand projects, she sought to reinforce her authority and solidify her legacy. These structures served as physical manifestations of her power, emphasizing her role as a builder and a ruler who could bring prosperity to her people. In addition to Deir el-Bahari, Hatshepsut commissioned several other significant building projects, including temples dedicated to various gods and monuments that celebrated her achievements. One notable example is the temple at Karnak, where she added a series of obelisks, which were monumental stone pillars often inscribed with hieroglyphs. These obelisks served both religious and political purposes, as they were dedicated to the gods while also commemorating Hatshepsut's reign. The construction techniques employed during Hatshepsut's time were advanced for the era. Laborers, artisans, and craftsmen were organized into teams to execute these ambitious projects. The workforce was likely composed of skilled laborers as well as conscripted workers who served during the inundation period, when agricultural work was limited. This organization not only demonstrated Hatshepsut's administrative capabilities, but also provided employment opportunities for the populace, thereby contributing to the economy. Hatshepsut's architectural projects were not without challenges. The scale and complexity of her constructions required significant resources and careful planning. There were logistical issues related to sourcing materials, transporting stones, and coordinating labor. In some cases, local quarries were tapped for limestone, sandstone, and granite, while other materials were brought from distant regions. Despite these challenges, Hatshepsut's determination to leave a lasting legacy drove her to overcome obstacles and push the boundaries of architectural achievement. The impact of Hatshepsut's architectural endeavors extended beyond her lifetime. After her death, her successors, particularly Thutmose III, sought to erase her legacy from the historical record. Many of her monuments were defaced, and her name was chiseled from inscriptions. However, the grandeur of her projects made it difficult to completely obliterate her contributions. The ruins of Deir el-Bahari and other structures continued to inspire awe and wonder for centuries, serving as a reminder of her reign. In modern times, the significance of Hatshepsut's architectural achievements has been recognized and celebrated.
archaeological excavations have uncovered the remnants of her projects, providing valuable insights into her reign and the complexities of ancient Egyptian architecture. Hatshepsut's architectural legacy is not limited to her physical structures. It also encompasses the cultural and religious narratives that her buildings conveyed. The reliefs and inscriptions within her temples articulated a vision of leadership that emphasized divine favor, economic prosperity, and military success. This narrative not only served to legitimize her rule, but also shaped the way future generations understood the role of women in positions of power. The grandeur of Hatshepsut's architecture also influenced subsequent rulers. Later pharaohs drew inspiration from her designs and strategies, incorporating elements of her style into their own monumental projects. This influence extended beyond Egypt, as her architectural innovations were noted by neighboring cultures and civilizations.
Hatshepsut's reign is often highlighted by her ambitious trade expeditions, the most notable being her journey to the land of Punt. This expedition was not merely a quest for wealth, it represented a significant aspect of her governance and ambition, showcasing her ability to expand Egypt's trade networks and enhance its economic standing. The land of Punt, often referred to as God's land in ancient texts, was famed for its rich resources, including gold, ebony, ivory, and exotic animals. The decision to embark on this expedition was both strategic and symbolic. Hatshepsut recognized that establishing robust trade relations would not only bolster Egypt's economy, but also reinforce her legitimacy as a ruler capable of bringing prosperity to her people. The expedition to Punt was meticulously planned, reflecting Hatshepsut's organizational skills and her understanding of the importance of trade in sustaining her reign. Preparations for the journey began early in Hatshepsut's reign. She commissioned a fleet of ships built specifically for the long voyage across the Red Sea. These ships were designed to carry not only goods, but also a large crew, including sailors, merchants, and skilled laborers. The undertaking required extensive resources and careful planning, as the journey to Punt was fraught with challenges, including unpredictable weather and the need for navigational expertise. The expedition itself was a monumental endeavor, involving a journey that could take several months. The exact location of Punt remains a subject of debate among historians. Some believe it was located in modern-day Somalia, while others suggest areas in the Arabian Peninsula or even further south. Regardless of its precise location, the journey was one of exploration, trade, and diplomacy. Hatshepsut's expedition to Punt was not only about acquiring goods, it was also an opportunity to establish diplomatic relations with foreign lands. The Egyptians sought to portray themselves as powerful and benevolent rulers, fostering goodwill through trade. The expedition was seen as a chance to enhance Egypt's reputation on the international stage, showcasing Hatshepsut's capabilities as a leader who could expand the kingdom's influence. Upon reaching Punt, the expedition was met with a warm reception. The Puntites welcomed the Egyptians, allowing them to trade for valuable resources. The reliefs depicting this encounter, found in Hatshepsut's mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, illustrate the exchange of goods, with the Egyptians receiving treasures such as gold and incense, while they offered items like textiles and other goods in return. These exchanges were not only practical, but also symbolized the establishment of a mutually beneficial relationship between the two nations. The expedition returned with a wealth of resources, including myrrh trees,
which were highly valued in ancient Egypt for their use in incense and embalming. The arrival of these goods was celebrated throughout the kingdom, reinforcing Hatshepsut's image as a capable ruler who could bring prosperity to her people. The successful return from Punt was a defining moment in her reign, marking her as a leader who could effectively manage the kingdom's resources and expand its wealth. The impact of the expedition extended beyond mere material wealth. The journey to Punt was a significant cultural event, enriching Egyptian society with new ideas and influences. The exotic animals, plants, and goods brought back from Punt stimulated interest in trade and exploration, leading to further expeditions and interactions with foreign lands. This cultural exchange contributed to the vibrancy of Egyptian civilization, fostering a spirit of curiosity and ambition. Hatshepsut's expedition to Punt also served a political purpose. By showcasing her ability to lead such a significant journey, she sought to legitimize her rule and reinforce her authority as pharaoh. The narrative of the expedition was carefully crafted and promoted through inscriptions and reliefs, emphasizing her divine favor and capability as a ruler. This portrayal was essential for solidifying her position in a male-dominated society, as it demonstrated her ability to achieve what many believed was beyond the capacity of a female leader. The inscriptions detailing the expedition were not only records of trade, but also works of propaganda. They celebrated her achievements, reinforcing the idea that Hatshepsut was a ruler chosen by the gods to lead Egypt to greatness. These narratives were vital for shaping public perception and ensuring that her reign would be remembered favorably in the annals of history. Despite her successes, Hatshepsut's expedition to Punt was not without its challenges and controversies. The vast resources and wealth brought back from Punt created a sense of envy among certain factions within the royal court. Traditionalists, who believed that a woman should not rule, questioned her legitimacy and authority, and the wealth gained from the expedition became a point of contention. Moreover, as Thutmose III grew older and began to assert himself, the question of succession and power dynamics within the royal family became increasingly fraught. Some nobles began to view Hatshepsut's achievements with skepticism, believing that her success overshadowed the rightful heir. This tension added complexity to her reign, as she had to navigate both internal politics and external perceptions. Hatshepsut's successful expedition to Punt, however, remained a highlight of her reign. It not only enriched Egypt economically, but also enhanced her reputation as a formidable leader. The wealth and resources acquired from this journey allowed her to invest in further monumental projects, including temples and other public works that would solidify her legacy. In the broader context of her reign, the expedition to Punt exemplified Hatshepsut's approach to governance. She understood that effective leadership required not only military might, but also economic prosperity and cultural exchange. By promoting trade and exploring new frontiers, she positioned herself as a ruler capable of navigating the complexities of her time. The expedition to Punt also highlighted the interconnectedness of ancient civilizations. Hatshepsut's efforts to establish trade networks and diplomatic relations with foreign lands set a precedent for future rulers. The legacy of her expedition extended beyond her lifetime, influencing later pharaohs who continued to pursue trade and cultural exchange as essential components of governance. The journey to Punt was more than just a trade expedition. It was a defining moment in Hatshepsut's reign that encapsulated her ambition, resilience, and capacity for leadership. The wealth and resources and cultural exchange resulting from the expedition enriched Egyptian society and reinforced her position as a powerful ruler. Despite the challenges she faced, Hatshepsut's successful management of the expedition demonstrated her ability to navigate the complexities of leadership and her commitment to the prosperity of her kingdom.
Cultural flourishing. Hatshepsut's reign was not only marked by her political and military achievements, but also by a remarkable cultural flourishing that had a lasting impact on ancient Egyptian society. During her time as pharaoh, various aspects of culture, including art, literature, religion, and architecture, thrived, reflecting the stability and prosperity of her rule. This cultural renaissance was intricately linked to her efforts to assert her legitimacy as a female ruler and to define her legacy. One of the most striking features of Hatshepsut's reign was the flourishing of the arts. She actively patronized artists and craftsmen, commissioning numerous works that celebrated her achievements and reinforced her image as a powerful ruler. The period saw the production of exquisite sculptures, intricate jewelry, and beautifully crafted pottery. Many of these works depicted Hatshepsut herself, often portraying her in the traditional male regalia of pharaohs, complete with a false beard. This artistic choice not only emphasized her authority, but also challenged societal norms regarding gender representation in leadership. The temple at Deir el-Bahari stands as a monumental example of the artistic achievements of Hatshepsut's reign. The reliefs and carvings within the temple depict her divine birth, her expedition to Punt, and various scenes celebrating her connection to the gods. These artworks were not merely decorative, they served a propagandistic purpose, reinforcing her legitimacy as a ruler chosen by divine will. The intricate details and vibrant colors of these reliefs showcased the skill and talent of the artisans of the time, reflecting a high point in Egyptian artistic expression. In addition to the visual arts, literature also flourished during Hatshepsut's reign. Scribes played a vital role in documenting events, religious practices, and royal decrees. The written word was a powerful tool for shaping public perception and solidifying Hatshepsut's legacy. Inscriptions from her reign often emphasized her accomplishments, portraying her as a ruler who brought prosperity and stability to Egypt. This literary output contributed to the cultural richness of the period, serving as both a record of her reign and a means of promoting her image. The religious landscape of ancient Egypt also underwent significant developments during Hatshepsut's time. As pharaoh, she recognized the importance of religion in legitimizing her rule and fostering loyalty among her subjects. Hatshepsut's dedication to the gods was evident in her monumental building projects, particularly her temples. These structures not only served as places of worship, but also as symbols of her devotion and authority. Hatshepsut's mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari was dedicated to the goddess Hathor and the god Amun, emphasizing her connection to the divine. The temple's architecture and inscriptions reflected her commitment to religious practices and the importance of the gods in Egyptian society. The temples she built became centers of worship, attracting priests and worshippers alike. This focus on religion helped to reinforce her legitimacy as a ruler, aligning her reign with the divine order of the universe. Moreover, Hatshepsut's reign was marked by an emphasis on the afterlife,
a cornerstone of ancient Egyptian belief. She commissioned elaborate burial practices and ensured that her own mortuary temple was equipped for her journey to the afterlife. The inclusion of richly decorated chapels and shrines within her temples highlighted the significance of the afterlife in Egyptian culture. This dedication to religious and funerary practices not only reflected her reverence for the gods, but also served to promote continuity and stability within the kingdom. Cultural exchange also played a role in the flourishing of Hatshepsut's reign. The expedition to Punt facilitated interactions with foreign lands, introducing new ideas, goods, and artistic influences. The wealth acquired from this journey allowed Hatshepsut to import exotic materials and luxuries, further enriching Egyptian culture. The influx of foreign goods inspired artisans and craftsmen, leading to innovative artistic styles and techniques that blended traditional Egyptian aesthetics with new influences. The impact of Hatshepsut's reign on Egyptian culture extended beyond her lifetime. The cultural flourishing during her rule laid the groundwork for future artistic and literary developments. Subsequent pharaohs drew inspiration from her achievements, continuing to patronize the arts and fostering a spirit of creativity and innovation. The legacy of Hatshepsut's cultural contributions can be seen in the enduring artistic traditions of ancient Egypt, which persisted long after her reign. Hatshepsut's efforts to promote cultural flourishing were not without challenges. As her reign progressed, the political dynamics within the royal court shifted, leading to increasing tensions with Thutmose III. Despite her attempts to solidify her legacy through monumental projects and cultural patronage, the rivalry for power created a complex environment. Thutmose III, eager to assert his authority, would later seek to erase Hatshepsut's memory from history, defacing her monuments and attempting to diminish her contributions. However, the cultural achievements of Hatshepsut's reign were so significant that they could not be entirely erased. The artistry and craftsmanship of the period left an indelible mark on Egyptian history, and the records of her accomplishments remained in the collective memory of the society. Archaeological discoveries in modern times have further illuminated the richness of this cultural renaissance, providing insights into the artistic techniques and societal values of the era.
As Hatshepsut's reign progressed, her influence began to solidify within the annals of Egyptian history. Her monumental achievements, from grand architectural projects to successful trade expeditions, established her as one of the most remarkable pharaohs. However, the complexities of her rule, particularly her position as a female leader in a predominantly patriarchal society, meant that her legacy would be contested and challenged. Hatshepsut's efforts to secure her legacy were evident in her ambitious construction projects, particularly her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari. This temple was not just a monument to her reign, it was a testament to her identity as a ruler who defied conventions. The temple's inscriptions celebrated her divine birth and her accomplishments, reinforcing her image as a powerful and capable leader. The artistic representations within the temple served as a narrative that sought to immortalize her reign, emphasizing her connection to the divine and her role in bringing prosperity to Egypt. Despite these efforts, Hatshepsut's legacy faced challenges, particularly from her stepson, Thutmose III. As he matured, the dynamics within the royal court shifted significantly.
Thutmose III, who had been raised under Hatshepsut's guidance, began to assert his own authority. His ambitions and the support he garnered from certain factions within the court created a tension that threatened Hatshepsut's carefully crafted image. The question of succession loomed large, with many nobles believing that Thutmose III should assume his rightful place as pharaoh. Hatshepsut's extended rule, while stabilizing for the kingdom, raised concerns among traditionalists who viewed her as a usurper. As Thutmose III began to assert himself more forcefully, Hatshepsut's position became increasingly precarious. The political landscape of the royal court was fraught with intrigue, making it essential for Hatshepsut to navigate these challenges with skill and diplomacy. In her later years, Hatshepsut faced mounting pressure to relinquish power to Thutmose III. Despite her attempts to groom him for leadership, the rivalry for authority intensified. The young pharaoh's ambitions were further fueled by the support of the nobility, many of whom were eager to see a male ruler on the throne. This shift in power dynamics created a complex environment where Hatshepsut had to balance her legacy with the realities of court politics. In the face of these challenges, Hatshepsut continued to govern effectively. She maintained her focus on trade expeditions and monumental architecture, ensuring that her contributions to Egypt remained significant. However, the growing tensions with Thutmose III and the factions supporting him took a toll on her authority. As her reign progressed, the perception of her rule began to shift, with some viewing her as a temporary leader rather than a legitimate pharaoh. The decline of Hatshepsut's influence became more pronounced following her death. Thutmose III ascended to the throne and sought to erase her legacy from history. Many of her monuments were defaced, her inscriptions chiseled away, and her name omitted from the royal lists. This act to diminish her memory was not merely an act of personal rivalry. It reflected the broader societal resistance to female leadership in a patriarchal culture. The efforts to erase Hatshepsut's legacy were extensive, yet they were not entirely successful. The grandeur of her architectural projects, particularly Deir el-Bahari, continued to evoke awe and admiration long after her death. The artistry and craftsmanship of the period were so remarkable that they transcended the political machinations of her successors. Despite attempts to erase her from history, the physical remnants of her reign served as a testament to her accomplishments. Archaeological discoveries in modern times have shed light on Hatshepsut's reign and her enduring legacy. The unearthing of her mortuary temple and the inscriptions within it revealed the richness of her contributions to Egyptian culture. These discoveries provided insights into her reign, illustrating her role as a pioneering female leader who challenged societal norms. The resurgence of interest in her story has led to a revaluation of her place in history, recognizing her as a significant figure in ancient Egypt. Hatshepsut's legacy also resonates in contemporary discussions about female leadership. Her reign challenges the stereotypes surrounding women in power and serves as a reminder of the potential for female rulers to navigate the complexities of governance. The narrative of her life is one of ambition, resilience, and the pursuit of authority in a world that sought to limit her. The cultural impact of Hatshepsut's reign extended beyond her lifetime. Her emphasis on art, architecture, and trade set a precedent for future rulers. Subsequent pharaohs drew inspiration from her achievements, continuing to promote the arts and foster economic growth. The legacy of Hatshepsut's cultural contributions can be seen in the enduring artistic traditions of ancient Egypt, which persisted long after her reign.
As the centuries passed, Hatshepsut's story became a subject of fascination for historians, archaeologists, and scholars. Her life has been the focus of numerous studies, documentaries, and even fictional portrayals, all of which seek to capture the complexity of her character and the significance of her reign. The rediscovery of her legacy has sparked renewed interest in ancient Egyptian history, bringing attention to the often overlooked contributions of female leaders. In the grand narrative of ancient Egypt, Hatshepsut stands out as a figure who defied conventions and reshaped the expectations of female leadership. Her reign was marked by significant achievements, yet it also highlighted the challenges faced by women in positions of power. The legacy she left behind, both in terms of her monumental projects and her influence on future generations, continues to be celebrated and studied.
Historical interpretations and lasting impact. The legacy of Hatshepsut has been the subject of extensive historical interpretation, reflecting the complexities of her reign and the societal attitudes toward female leadership in ancient Egypt. Over the centuries, scholars and historians have grappled with the nuances of her story, examining the factors that contributed to her rise, her accomplishments, and the subsequent efforts to erase her from history. These interpretations offer valuable insights into the cultural, political, and social dynamics of ancient Egypt. In the immediate aftermath of Hatshepsut's reign, her legacy was largely overshadowed by the actions of Thutmose III. Following her death, Thutmose III's campaign to erase her name from monuments and inscriptions reflected a broader cultural resistance to female rule in ancient Egypt. This erasure was not merely a personal vendetta, it revealed the entrenched patriarchal norms that governed Egyptian society. Scholars of the time tended to emphasize the male line of succession, often relegating female rulers to the margins of history. For centuries, Hatshepsut was largely forgotten, her monuments and inscriptions ignored or destroyed. It wasn't until the late 19th and early 20th centuries that her legacy began to re-emerge in historical discourse. Archaeological excavations in Egypt, particularly at Deir el-Bahari, unveiled the remnants of her reign, including her impressive mortuary temple and the inscriptions that celebrated her achievements. These discoveries reignited interest in her story and prompted a reevaluation of her contributions to Egyptian history. Historians began to recognize Hatshepsut as a pioneering figure who challenged gender norms and redefined the role of women in leadership. Her ability to navigate the complexities of governance during a time of political instability demonstrated her resilience and strategic acumen. Scholars highlighted her accomplishments, including the successful trade expeditions to Punt and the monumental architecture that defined her reign. This reassessment positioned Hatshepsut as one of the most significant pharaohs in Egyptian history, deserving of a place alongside her male counterparts. In contemporary scholarship, Hatshepsut is often viewed through the lens of feminist theory, which seeks to understand the dynamics of gender and power in historical contexts. This perspective emphasizes her unique position as a female ruler in a patriarchal society and explores the implications of her reign for understanding female leadership more broadly. Scholars have examined how Hatshepsut's story reflects the challenges faced by women in positions of power, both in ancient Egypt and in contemporary society. The narrative of Hatshepsut has also inspired artistic interpretations and representations in modern culture. Her life has been depicted in literature, film, and visual arts, often emphasizing her defiance against societal norms and her quest for legitimacy. These portrayals contribute to a broader understanding of her character and the complexities of her reign, capturing the imagination of audiences around the world.
Hatshepsut's legacy extends beyond her accomplishments as a ruler. It also serves as a powerful symbol of resilience and empowerment. Her story resonates with themes of ambition, determination, and the struggle for recognition in a male-dominated world. This aspect of her legacy has inspired countless individuals, particularly women, to challenge societal expectations and pursue leadership roles across various fields. The impact of Hatshepsut's reign is also evident in the cultural and artistic expressions that flourished during her time. The vibrant art and literature produced under her patronage left an enduring mark on Egyptian civilization. The reliefs and inscriptions that adorned her temples not only celebrated her achievements, but also conveyed the cultural values and beliefs of the society. These artistic expressions continue to be studied and admired, providing insights into the rich tapestry of ancient Egyptian life. In addition to her artistic contributions, Hatshepsut's emphasis on trade and economic prosperity set a precedent for future rulers. Her successful expeditions to Punt not only enriched Egypt, but also established trade networks that would benefit the kingdom for generations. Subsequent pharaohs recognized the importance of these economic ties and continued to pursue trade as a means of enhancing Egypt's wealth and influence. The narrative of Hatshepsut also serves as a cautionary tale about the fragility of legacy. Despite her significant contributions, the efforts to erase her memory highlight the vulnerabilities faced by women in leadership. The historical record is replete with examples of female rulers whose legacies were diminished or obscured by patriarchal narratives. Hatshepsut's story underscores the importance of preserving and celebrating the achievements of women throughout history, ensuring that their contributions are recognized and remembered. In modern discussions about leadership and gender, Hatshepsut's reign is often invoked as a case study in the complexities of power dynamics. Her ability to assert authority in a male-dominated society serves as a reminder of the potential for women to defy expectations and achieve greatness. Scholars and activists alike draw inspiration from her story, advocating for greater representation of women in leadership roles across various fields. As the historical discourse surrounding Hatshepsut continues to evolve, her legacy remains a focal point for discussions about gender, power, and the complexities of leadership. The reevaluation of her contributions has not only enriched our understanding of ancient Egypt, but has also sparked broader conversations about the role of women in history. Hatshepsut's life serves as a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the capacity for individuals to shape their destinies regardless of societal constraints. The enduring fascination with Hatshepsut reflects the broader societal interest in female leaders and the challenges they face. Her story has prompted a reevaluation of historical narratives, encouraging scholars and the public alike to recognize and celebrate the achievements of women throughout history. As the exploration of Hatshepsut's legacy continues, her reign stands as a powerful example of the complexities and triumphs of female leadership, inspiring future generations to strive for their own paths of empowerment and success.
Archaeological discoveries and their significance. The story of Hatshepsut has been significantly shaped by archaeological discoveries that have unearthed the remnants of her reign and provided insights into her life and legacy. These excavations have revealed not only the physical evidence of her monumental architecture, but also the cultural and historical context in which she ruled. The discoveries related to Hatshepsut have transformed our understanding of her contributions to ancient Egypt, highlighting her role as a pioneering female pharaoh. One of the most significant archaeological sites associated with Hatshepsut is her mortuary temple at Deir Kalbahari. This temple, located on the west bank of the Nile near Luxor, is an architectural masterpiece that exemplifies the grandeur of her reign. Construction of the temple began shortly after she declared herself pharaoh, and it was designed to honor the gods and serve as a place of worship. The site features 3 terraced levels, connected by long ramps, which were revolutionary for their time and allowed for a harmonious integration with the surrounding landscape. The temple's walls are adorned with intricate reliefs and inscriptions that depict key events from Hatshepsut's life, including her divine birth and her expedition to the land of Punt. These artistic representations serve as a narrative that not only celebrates her achievements, but also reinforces her legitimacy as a ruler. The reliefs are characterized by their detailed craftsmanship and vibrant colors, showcasing the skill of the artisans who worked on the temple. Excavations at Deir el-Bahari have revealed a wealth of information about Hatshepsut's reign, including insights into the religious practices of the time. The temple was dedicated to the goddess Hathor and the god Amun, reflecting Hatshepsut's commitment to the divine. Archaeologists have uncovered altars, shrines, and offerings that highlight the significance of religious rituals in ancient Egyptian society. These findings have deepened our understanding of the role of religion in legitimizing Hatshepsut's rule and in shaping the cultural landscape of Egypt. In addition to Deir el-Bahari, other archaeological discoveries have shed light on Hatshepsut's trade expeditions, particularly her journey to the land of Punt. Inscriptions and reliefs depicting the expedition have been found in various temples, illustrating the wealth and resources brought back from this journey. The discovery of artifacts such as myrrh trees, exotic goods, and luxury items from Punt has provided tangible evidence of the economic relationships established during Hatshepsut's reign. These findings underscore the importance of trade in enhancing Egypt's wealth and influence, as well as Hatshepsut's role in expanding its trade networks. Archaeological evidence has also revealed the existence of other significant sites associated with Hatshepsut. For instance, excavations at Karnak have uncovered inscriptions that commemorate her achievements and highlight her contributions to temple construction. Hatshepsut commissioned several obelisks at Karnak, which served as monumental markers of her reign. The discovery of these obelisks and their inscriptions has contributed to our understanding of her efforts to promote her image as a powerful ruler. The tomb of Hatshepsut, located in the Valley of the Kings, has also been a focal point for archaeological research. While her burial site was initially thought to be lost, modern excavations have led to the identification of her tomb as KV-20. The tomb features elaborate decorations, including images of Hatshepsut in the company of gods and scenes depicting her divine birth. These artistic elements reinforce her connection to the divine and her status as a legitimate ruler. The discovery of her tomb has provided valuable insights into the burial practices of the time and the significance of the afterlife in ancient Egyptian beliefs. While many of Hatshepsut's monuments and inscriptions were defaced or destroyed during the reign of Thutmose III, archaeological efforts have allowed for the recovery and restoration of her legacy.
the unearthing of her temple and tomb have provided a more comprehensive understanding of her reign and the cultural context in which she operated. These discoveries have played a crucial role in reshaping the historical narrative surrounding Hatshepsut, allowing her story to be recognized and appreciated in its entirety. In recent decades, advances in technology have further enhanced archaeological research related to Hatshepsut. Modern techniques such as ground-penetrating radar and aerial photography have allowed archaeologists to explore previously inaccessible areas and identify potential sites of interest. These technologies have uncovered new evidence of Hatshepsut's influence and contributions, leading to ongoing discoveries that continue to enrich our understanding of her reign. The significance of these archaeological discoveries extends beyond the realm of historical scholarship. They have also captured the public imagination. Exhibitions showcasing artifacts and artworks related to Hatshepsut have drawn interest from visitors around the world, highlighting the enduring fascination with her story. Museums have curated collections that celebrate her achievements, allowing audiences to engage with the rich cultural heritage of ancient Egypt. The revival of interest in Hatshepsut has prompted discussions about gender and leadership in historical contexts. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the potential for women to assert authority and challenge societal norms. The archaeological discoveries related to her reign contribute to the broader narrative of female leadership in history, emphasizing the importance of recognizing and preserving the contributions of women in shaping civilizations. As scholars continue to explore the archaeological record associated with Hatshepsut, her legacy will likely evolve further. New findings and interpretations will continue to enrich our understanding of her reign and the complexities of her character. The ongoing excavations and research efforts serve as a testament to the dynamic nature of historical scholarship, reminding us that the past is always subject to reinterpretation as new evidence comes to light.
Representation in art and literature. Hatshepsut's reign has left a profound mark on the artistic and literary traditions of ancient Egypt, resulting in an enduring legacy that has been interpreted and reinterpreted throughout the centuries. Her representation in art and literature reflects the complexities of her character, her achievements as a female pharaoh, and the societal attitudes toward women in leadership roles. The artistic expressions created during her reign, as well as those that followed, offer valuable insights into her legacy and the cultural context of her time. During Hatshepsut's reign, the artistic style of ancient Egypt flourished, particularly in the realm of monumental architecture and reliefs. The reliefs adorning her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari are among the most notable examples of the era's artistic expression. These reliefs depict Hatshepsut in various contexts, often portraying her in the traditional male regalia of a pharaoh, complete with a false beard and kilt. This deliberate choice of representation served to challenge gender norms and reinforce her authority as a ruler. The artistic depictions of Hatshepsut emphasize her divine birth narrative and her connection to the gods. In the reliefs, she is shown receiving gifts and symbols of power from deities, underscoring her legitimacy as a ruler chosen by divine favor. These portrayals were not merely decorative, they served a propagandistic purpose, reinforcing her image as a powerful and capable leader. The artistry involved in creating these reliefs showcased the high point of Egyptian artistic achievement. In addition to the monumental reliefs, Hatshepsut's reign also saw the production of smaller art forms, including statues, jewelry, and pottery. Many of these artifacts depicted her likeness, often emphasizing her strength and authority. The sculptures created during her reign were characterized by their attention to detail and realism, capturing her features and regal demeanor. The artistic representations of Hatshepsut not only celebrated her achievements, but also contributed to the broader narrative of her legacy. Following Hatshepsut's death, the representation of her in art underwent significant changes. The campaign initiated by Thutmose III to erase her legacy from history led to the defacement of her monuments and the destruction of her images. This deliberate attempt to diminish her memory created a gap in the historical record, rendering Hatshepsut a largely forgotten figure for centuries. The patriarchal narratives that dominated the historical discourse often relegated her to the sidelines, overshadowing her contributions. It wasn't until the 19th and 20th centuries that Hatshepsut began to re-emerge in art and literature. Archaeological discoveries, particularly those related to her mortuary temple and inscriptions, sparked a renewed interest in her story. Artists and writers began to explore her life and reign, often emphasizing her defiance against societal norms and her quest for legitimacy. This resurgence of interest reflected broader societal changes as discussions about gender and leadership began to gain traction. In modern literature, Hatshepsut has been portrayed as a complex and multifaceted character. Novels, biographies, and historical fiction have sought to capture the essence of her reign and the challenges she faced as a female ruler. These representations often focus on her determination, resilience, and the intricacies of her relationships with those around her, including Thutmose III and the court. Such narratives have contributed to a richer understanding of her character, moving beyond simplistic portrayals to explore the depths of her ambition and the sacrifices she made in pursuit of power. In art, contemporary interpretations of Hatshepsut have also flourished. Artists have drawn inspiration from her story, creating works that reflect her strength and complexity. These modern representations often emphasize her defiance and the challenges she faced as a female leader, allowing audiences to engage with her legacy in new and meaningful ways. The continued fascination with Hatshepsut in contemporary art and literature underscores her relevance as a symbol of empowerment and resilience. The representation of Hatshepsut in art and literature also serves as a lens through which to examine broader themes of gender and power. Her story challenges traditional narratives that often exclude or diminish the contributions of women in history. By highlighting her achievements and the obstacles she overcame, contemporary interpretations of Hatshepsut contribute to ongoing discussions about female leadership and representation. The legacy of Hatshepsut's artistic representations is further enriched by the ongoing scholarly research surrounding her reign. Historians and archaeologists continue to explore the nuances of her representation in art, seeking to understand how she was perceived during her time and how those perceptions have evolved. This research has led to a deeper appreciation of her contributions as well as an acknowledgement of the challenges faced by women in positions of power throughout history. Moreover, Hatshepsut's representation in art and literature has inspired reflections on the nature of leadership itself. Her reign serves as a reminder that leadership can take many forms and that the qualities associated with effective leadership, such as resilience,
vision, and the ability to navigate complex political landscapes are not confined to any one gender. This message resonates in contemporary discussions about leadership in various fields, encouraging a more inclusive understanding of what it means to lead. The fascination with Hatshepsut has also led to increased visibility for women in the historical narrative. As her story gains prominence, it opens the door for other female figures in history to be recognized and celebrated. The renewed interest in Hatshepsut's life serves as a catalyst for exploring the rich tapestry of women's contributions to history, encouraging a more comprehensive understanding of the past.
Modern legacy and influence on gender and leadership. Hatshepsut's impact on history extends beyond her reign in ancient Egypt. Her legacy continues to resonate in modern discussions surrounding gender, leadership, and the representation of women in power. As one of the few female pharaohs to successfully assert her authority, Hatshepsut serves as a powerful symbol of resilience and defiance against societal norms. Her story not only enriches our understanding of ancient Egyptian history, but also provides valuable insights into contemporary issues related to female leadership. In recent years, there has been a growing recognition of the importance of female leaders in history, and Hatshepsut stands as a prominent figure in this narrative. Her ability to navigate the complexities of governance in a male-dominated society challenges traditional notions of leadership. Hatshepsut's reign exemplifies the potential for women to rise to power and influence, even in the face of significant obstacles. As discussions about gender equality and women's rights gain traction globally, Hatshepsut's story offers a historical context that underscores the ongoing struggle for women to assert their authority. Contemporary feminist scholarship has increasingly focused on figures like Hatshepsut, analyzing the dynamics of gender and power in historical contexts. Scholars have examined how women in leadership roles have been portrayed throughout history, often highlighting the biases that have shaped their legacies. Hatshepsut's reign provides a compelling case study for understanding the complexities of female leadership and the societal attitudes that have influenced historical narratives. One of the most significant aspects of Hatshepsut's modern legacy is her role as a pioneer for female empowerment. Her story has inspired countless individuals, particularly women, to challenge societal expectations and pursue leadership roles. Hatshepsut's determination to assert her authority and redefine the role of women in leadership serves as a source of inspiration for those advocating for greater representation and equality in various fields. In the realm of politics, Hatshepsut's legacy has been invoked by female leaders seeking to break through barriers and challenge the status quo. Her story resonates with women in leadership positions who face similar challenges in their pursuit of authority and recognition. Contemporary discussions about women in politics often reference Hatshepsut as an example of a powerful female leader who navigated the intricacies of governance with skill and determination. Moreover, Hatshepsut's contributions to trade and economic prosperity during her reign highlight the importance of economic empowerment for women today. Her successful expeditions to Punt and the focus on building trade networks demonstrate how economic strength can enhance political authority. This message is particularly relevant in contemporary discussions about women's economic empowerment and the role of women in business and entrepreneurship. Hatshepsut's legacy serves as a reminder that economic independence is a vital component of leadership and a key factor in achieving gender equality. The artistic and cultural representations of Hatshepsut also play a crucial role in her modern legacy.
The revival of interest in her story has led to a resurgence of artistic interpretations that celebrate her strength and complexity. Modern artists and writers have drawn inspiration from her life and reign, creating works that explore her defiance against societal norms and her quest for legitimacy. These contemporary portrayals contribute to a broader understanding of her character and reinforce her status as a symbol of empowerment. The ongoing archaeological discoveries related to Hatshepsut also have further enriched her legacy, providing tangible evidence of her reign and the cultural context in which she operated. As new findings emerge, they contribute to the narrative of Hatshepsut as a significant figure in ancient history. The excitement surrounding these discoveries has sparked public interest in her story, encouraging a re-evaluation of her contributions and the importance of recognizing women in history. In education, Hatshepsut's legacy is increasingly incorporated into curricula that focus on gender studies and the history of women. Her story serves as a powerful teaching tool, illustrating the complexities of leadership and the importance of representation. Educators use Hatshepsut's life to engage students in discussions about gender, power dynamics, and the historical context of female leaders. By highlighting her achievements, educators can inspire students to recognize the potential for women to lead and influence in various fields. The modern legacy of Hatshepsut also intersects with broader discussions about intersectionality and the diverse experiences of women in leadership. While Hatshepsut's story is emblematic of female empowerment, it also reflects the unique challenges faced by women in different cultural and historical contexts. Contemporary discussions about leadership must take into account the multifaceted nature of identity, including race, class, and culture. Hatshepsut's reign provides a historical framework for understanding the complexities of these intersections and their relevance in today's society. As public interest in Hatshepsut grows, so too does the recognition of the need to preserve and celebrate the contributions of women throughout history. Her story serves as a reminder of the importance of acknowledging the achievements of female leaders and challenging the narratives that have often marginalized their contributions. The resurgence of interest in Hatshepsut's legacy highlights the ongoing need for historical scholarship that centers women and their roles in shaping civilizations. In popular culture, Hatshepsut has become a figure of fascination, appearing in documentaries, novels, and even artistic performances. These representations have helped to popularize her story and bring attention to the significance of female leadership in history. The continued exploration of her life and reign in various media serves not only to entertain, but also to educate audiences about the complexities of gender and power dynamics. Hatshepsut's modern legacy embodies the ongoing struggle for gender equality and the recognition of women in leadership. Her defiance against societal norms, her ability to navigate the intricacies of governance, and her contributions to art and culture serve as enduring symbols of empowerment. As contemporary discussions about gender and leadership continue to evolve, Hatshepsut's story remains relevant, inspiring future generations to challenge expectations and strive for their own paths of authority and influence. The impact of Hatshepsut's reign and the ongoing examination of her legacy contribute to a richer understanding of history and the complexities of leadership. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that women have always played a vital role in shaping civilizations, and their contributions deserve recognition and celebration.
Continued scholarly research and new findings.
The legacy of Hatshepsut continues to evolve as scholars and archaeologists engage in ongoing research and discoveries that shed light on her reign and its historical context. The interdisciplinary nature of this research, combining archaeology, art history, Egyptology, and feminist studies, has led to new interpretations of Hatshepsut's life and the complexities of her rule. Recent findings have not only expanded our understanding of her contributions, but have also highlighted the enduring significance of her story in contemporary discussions about gender and power. One of the focal points of current research is the exploration of Hatshepsut's mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari. Ongoing excavations and restorations have revealed previously hidden features and artifacts within the temple complex. Archaeologists have discovered additional inscriptions that provide greater context to Hatshepsut's accomplishments and her relationship with the gods. These inscriptions often emphasize her divine birth and her legitimacy as a ruler, reinforcing her narrative as a pharaoh chosen by the gods. The intricate details of the temple's architecture and decoration continue to captivate researchers, allowing for deeper insights into the artistic and cultural achievements of her reign. In recent years, advances in technology have revolutionized archaeological research in Egypt. Techniques such as ground-penetrating radar, 3D imaging, and digital mapping have enabled researchers to explore sites without extensive excavation. These methods have been particularly useful in revealing hidden structures and features related to Hatshepsut's reign. For instance, non-invasive techniques have led to the discovery of additional chambers and artifacts within her temple complex, providing a more comprehensive understanding of the site's significance and the activities that took place there. Another area of active research focuses on Hatshepsut's trade expeditions, particularly her famous journey to the land of Punt. Scholars are examining the economic and cultural implications of these trade networks, analyzing how they contributed to Egypt's wealth and influence during her reign. New findings related to the goods brought back from Punt, such as myrrh, incense, and exotic animals, have underscored the importance of trade in ancient Egyptian society. The continued exploration of these trade routes helps to contextualize Hatshepsut's reign within the broader framework of ancient Near Eastern commerce and international relations. Moreover, researchers are increasingly considering the implications of Hatshepsut's gender in their studies. Feminist scholars have emphasized the importance of examining how Hatshepsut navigated the male-dominated political landscape of her time. Recent scholarship has sought to understand how her gender identity influenced her rule and the representation of her legacy. By analyzing the language used in inscriptions and the artistic choices made in depictions of Hatshepsut, scholars are uncovering the complexities of her identity and the societal attitudes toward female leadership in ancient Egypt. In addition to textual and archaeological evidence, the study of Hatshepsut's representation in art has also gained traction. Art historians are examining how her image was constructed in various media, from monumental reliefs to smaller sculptures. This research delves into the symbolism and iconography associated with Hatshepsut, exploring how her depictions reflect her authority and the expectations placed on her as a female ruler. Understanding the artistic conventions of the time provides valuable insights into how Hatshepsut sought to assert her legitimacy and navigate the challenges of her reign. The ongoing research into Hatshepsut's reign has also sparked interest in the broader context of female rulers in ancient Egypt. Scholars are increasingly recognizing that Hatshepsut was not an isolated phenomenon, but part of a continuum of women who held significant power throughout Egyptian history. By examining the lives and reigns of other female figures, such as Sobek-Neferu and Cleopatra, researchers are constructing a more nuanced narrative of female leadership in ancient Egypt.
This comparative analysis enriches our understanding of the societal structures that allowed for women to ascend to power and the challenges they faced in maintaining their authority. The impact of Hatshepsut's story on contemporary scholarship is evident in the growing emphasis on intersectionality in historical research. Scholars are exploring how factors such as class, ethnicity, and culture intersect with gender in shaping the experiences of women in leadership. This approach acknowledges that the experiences of female rulers were not monolithic, but varied based on their specific contexts. Hatshepsut's legacy serves as a case study for examining the complexities of intersectional identities in history, providing a framework for understanding the diverse experiences of women across different cultures and time periods. The resurgence in interest in Hatshepsut has also led to collaborative research initiatives that bring together scholars from various disciplines and institutions. Conferences, symposiums, and workshops focused on Hatshepsut and female leadership in ancient Egypt have facilitated the exchange of ideas and fostered new collaborations. These interdisciplinary efforts have expanded the scope of research and encouraged innovative approaches to studying Hatshepsut's reign and legacy. Furthermore, the influence of Hatshepsut's story has transcended academic circles, inspiring popular culture and public interest in ancient Egypt. Documentaries, educational programs, and museum exhibitions have highlighted her significance, making her story accessible to a broader audience. The continued engagement with Hatshepsut in popular culture reflects the enduring fascination with her life and reign, encouraging discussions about gender, power, and representation. As archaeological discoveries continue to unfold, the narrative surrounding Hatshepsut will likely evolve further. New findings and interpretations will contribute to a deeper understanding of her reign and its implications for contemporary discussions about leadership and gender. The dynamic nature of historical scholarship ensures that Hatshepsut's story will remain a focal point for future research and inquiry.
Hatshepsut in the broader context of ancient Egyptian history. Hatshepsut's reign is a pivotal chapter in ancient Egyptian history, not only for her unique position as a female pharaoh, but also for the broader implications of her leadership within the context of the New Kingdom. Hatshepsut's reign, Common Era 1479 to 1458 BCE, occurred during the 18th dynasty, a period characterized by significant political stability, economic prosperity, and cultural flourishing. The New Kingdom is often regarded as the height of ancient Egyptian civilization, marked by expansive territorial conquests, monumental architecture, and a rich artistic heritage. Hatshepsut ascended to the throne during a time when Egypt was consolidating its power following the tumultuous Second Intermediate Period. Her reign contributed to the stability and prosperity that defined the New Kingdom, making her a crucial figure in this transformative era. Hatshepsut's rise to power was remarkable given the patriarchal structure of Egyptian society. Following the death of her husband, Thutmose II, and the ascension of her stepson, Thutmose III, Hatshepsut initially served as regent. However, her decision to declare herself pharaoh and adopt male royal regalia was a bold move that challenged traditional gender roles. This assertion of power not only solidified her position, but also set a precedent for future female rulers in Egypt and beyond. Her reign is notable for its emphasis on trade and diplomacy, particularly exemplified by her famous expedition to Punt.
This journey brought back invaluable goods, including myrrh, spices, and exotic animals, which were crucial for religious ceremonies and economic prosperity. Hatshepsut's focus on trade rather than military conquest marked a shift in Egyptian policy, prioritizing economic stability and cultural exchange over warfare. This approach contributed to the development of sophisticated trade networks that would benefit Egypt for generations. Hatshepsut's architectural achievements further cemented her legacy within the broader context of ancient Egyptian history. The construction of her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari is a testament to her ambition and vision. This temple, designed to honor the gods and herself, exemplifies the artistic and architectural innovations of the time. The integration of the temple into the surrounding landscape reflects a harmony with nature that was characteristic of New Kingdom architecture. The temple's reliefs and inscriptions celebrate her divine birth and accomplishments, reinforcing her status as a legitimate ruler. The cultural flourishing during Hatshepsut's reign is another aspect that highlights her role in ancient Egyptian history. The arts thrived under her patronage, leading to the production of exquisite sculptures, jewelry, and pottery. The period is characterized by a distinct artistic style that combined traditional Egyptian motifs with innovative techniques. Hatshepsut's reign saw the emergence of a unique artistic language that celebrated her accomplishments and the prosperity of the kingdom. This cultural renaissance left an indelible mark on the artistic traditions of ancient Egypt. In the context of religion, Hatshepsut's reign was significant for its emphasis on divine legitimacy. The incorporation of religious themes into her rule not only reinforced her authority, but also reflected the broader religious beliefs of ancient Egyptians. Hatshepsut's connection to the gods, particularly Amun, was a central aspect of her identity as pharaoh. Her mortuary temple featured elaborate representations of her interactions with the divine, illustrating the importance of religious sanction in legitimizing her rule. This emphasis on divine favor was a hallmark of New Kingdom pharaohs and played a crucial role in maintaining their authority. However, Hatshepsut's reign was not without challenges. The political landscape of the royal court was complex, particularly with the presence of Thutmose III, who would later seek to assert his authority. The power dynamics between Hatshepsut and Thutmose III reflect the broader struggles for legitimacy and control that characterized ancient Egyptian politics. Hatshepsut's efforts to solidify her legacy in the face of these challenges highlight the intricacies of leadership in a society that traditionally favored male rulers. The decline of Hatshepsut's influence following her death is emblematic of the societal attitudes toward female leadership in ancient Egypt. Thutmose III's campaign to erase her name from history reflects the patriarchal norms that governed the society. Despite this, the architectural and artistic achievements of her reign endured, serving as a testament to her contributions to ancient Egyptian civilization. The remnants of her monuments and the inscriptions that celebrated her accomplishments continue to be studied and admired today. Hatshepsut's story also illustrates the broader theme of women's roles in ancient Egyptian society. While her reign was exceptional, it was not an isolated case. Women in ancient Egypt could wield significant power, often serving as regents or co-rulers alongside their husbands. Figures such as Nefertiti and Cleopatra later followed in her footsteps, navigating the complexities of leadership in a patriarchal society. Hatshepsut's reign provides a crucial context for understanding the potential for female authority in ancient Egypt and the societal structures that enabled such leadership. The legacy of Hatshepsut within the historical framework of ancient Egypt is further enriched by the ongoing archaeological discoveries and scholarly research. As new findings emerge, they challenge and refine our understanding of her reign and its implications for the broader historical narrative. The interdisciplinary nature of this research allows for a more comprehensive exploration of Hatshepsut's impact on Egyptian history. In examining Hatshepsut's role within the framework of ancient Egyptian history, it becomes clear that her reign was not merely an anomaly, but a critical chapter in the narrative of a civilization that thrived on the complexities of power, gender, and culture. Her story invites us to consider the myriad influences that shaped ancient Egypt and the enduring legacy of its leaders. Hatshepsut's reign, marked by economic prosperity, artistic achievements, and religious significance, exemplifies the heights of the new kingdom. Her ability to assert her authority in a male-dominated society and her focus on trade and diplomacy set a precedent for future rulers. As scholars continue to explore her story, Hatshepsut remains a vital figure in the broader context of ancient Egyptian history, emblematic of the rich tapestry of leadership, culture, and gender dynamics that characterized one of the world's earliest civilizations.
Enduring significance in contemporary society. Hatshepsut's legacy transcends the boundaries of her time, continuing to resonate in contemporary society as a symbol of female empowerment and leadership. Her unique position as one of the few female pharaohs in a patriarchal society offers valuable lessons that remain relevant in modern discussions about gender, authority, and representation. As society progresses toward greater gender equality, Hatshepsut's story serves as an inspiring example of overcoming obstacles and asserting one's power against the odds. In the realm of leadership, Hatshepsut's reign exemplifies the potential for women to occupy positions of authority traditionally reserved for men. Her assertive declaration as pharaoh, her strategic governance, and her focus on economic prosperity highlight the capabilities of women as effective leaders. In contemporary politics and business, the narrative of Hatshepsut encourages women to pursue leadership roles and challenge the barriers that still exist. Her legacy speaks to the importance of resilience and determination in the face of societal expectations, inspiring future generations to strive for their own paths of authority. The ongoing interest in Hatshepsut's life and reign also underscores the significance of representation in history. Her story has sparked discussions about the need to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of women throughout history, particularly those who have been marginalized or erased from the historical narrative. By bringing attention to figures like Hatshepsut, contemporary society can foster a more inclusive understanding of history that recognizes the diverse experiences of women in leadership. In education, Hatshepsut's life has become a focal point for discussions about gender and power dynamics. Educators are increasingly incorporating her story into curricula that explore the role of women in history, encouraging students to engage with the complexities of leadership and societal norms. By studying Hatshepsut, students can gain insights into the challenges faced by women in positions of authority and the importance of advocating for gender equality in all aspects of life. The revival of interest in Hatshepsut has also inspired a wealth of artistic interpretations and cultural representations, from novels and documentaries to visual arts and theater. Hatshepsut's story has been reimagined in various forms, making her legacy accessible to a broader audience. These artistic expressions not only celebrate her achievements, but also provoke conversations about the ongoing struggle for women's rights and representation in leadership. Moreover, Hatshepsut's legacy has implications for discussions surrounding intersectionality and diversity in leadership. Her story invites contemporary society to consider how different identities and experiences shape leadership styles and approaches. By examining Hatshepsut's reign within the context of broader gender and cultural dynamics, we can better understand the multifaceted nature of leadership and the importance of diverse voices in shaping our world. The archaeological discoveries and ongoing research related to Hatshepsut continue to enrich our understanding of her reign and its significance. As new findings emerge, they provide fresh insights into her contributions to ancient Egyptian civilization and the societal frameworks that supported her rise to power. This dynamic nature of scholarship ensures that Hatshepsut's story will remain relevant, prompting ongoing discussions about gender, leadership, and representation in both historical and contemporary contexts. In conclusion, Hatshepsut's legacy is a testament to the enduring power of female leadership and the complexities of navigating authority in a patriarchal society. Her reign, marked by economic prosperity, artistic achievements, and religious significance, serves as an inspiring example for women today. As society continues to grapple with issues of gender equality and representation, Hatshepsut's story remains a powerful reminder of the potential for individuals to challenge the status quo and leave a lasting impact on history. In celebrating Hatshepsut, we not only honor her contributions to ancient Egypt, but also recognize the importance of empowering women in leadership roles across all sectors of society. Her story encourages us to reflect on the progress made and the work still to be done in achieving true equality, reminding us that the legacies of female leaders like Hatshepsut are not only historical, but also essential to the ongoing narrative of human progress. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Hatshepsut, the sultry queen who became Pharaoh. We hope you enjoyed this gentle journey through history. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends. And don't forget to let us know where you're watching from in the comments below. Stay tuned for more captivating stories from the past right here on Modeled History. Until next time, take care.